So we're in the Ivy, so I'm going to start by saying we've had 4 amazing speakers, very informative, 4 courses. I am like that really insignificant palate cleanser that you get that's quite fun, but you're not really sure why they are here. My name is Chemmy Alcott. Actually, my name isn't Chemmy Alcott. My real name is Shemaine, but I had to change it because my first podium in Italy, it was a really big moment for me. It was at World Cup, and I'd come 10th, and there was a big line-up for 10, and they said, "Oh my gosh, this girl's British." And the announcer said, "Oh, in the 10th prize from Great Britain." And he's looking going, "She's from Great Britain. Is a Chemmy Alcott." And I was like, "I'm not going up there. He's just called me a chimney." I was then proceeded to be called chimney by all the press and all my peers for years. And I do blow a lot of hot smoke. But after that, I changed my name to Chemmy. So thank you for having me here today. A lot of you guys are in this industry. You know how things work. You expect I'm here because Dragonfly got in touch with my agents, who then went, "Let's find an athlete we think likes CBD." Flip that on its head, because I actually got in touch with them because I couldn't believe the positive effects that I had felt. And actually, it's almost bittersweet because I have lived with pain for over 13 years of my life every single day, to the extent that when you're an athlete, you wake up and you have all these questionnaires you have to fill out: how much sleep you had, how stressed you feel, how your heart rate is when you sit down, when you stand up. And there's this one bit that says, do you feel any pain anywhere? And every day you had to rate that pain out of 10. And I tried to not be a hypochondriac, but every day I was around a 4. And eventually they were like, "Look, we can't let you ski anymore." And I said, "Well, I need to not answer this question until 10:30 every morning, until my drugs had kicked in." And I didn't like taking painkillers. A bit of a backstory, but my mum passed away because of liver failure. And I really hated the fact that I was trying to dull my senses. I ski actually the fastest I've ever skied is 92 miles an hour. So if you're dulling your senses and then you're saying, "Right, I'm going to fly down this mountain and I'm going to go 92 miles an hour, then you do slightly become concerned of what would happen if you do make a mistake. And as we're going to hear, I did make quite a few mistakes afterwards. Now, I'm not expecting you all to know who I am. So we've got a lovely side of all of my skiing extra achievements. I did do 4 Olympics. I muscled through that. 20 years of my life I spent training for 2 minutes at each Olympic cycle. But from here, the interesting thing is that I chose to be a ski racer, and I live just down the road. I am a Londoner. My dad was a rugby player, my mum was a swimmer. I always say I got his glutes and her lungs, and I was made to be a mountain goat. But I love the sport, which is why I had such good longevity in it. I'm now retired, and I'm living my 5-year-old dream of presenting Ski Sunday. And at the bottom there, it says 3 Guinness World Records. If anyone in this room can guess what they are without using Madame Google, I will personally pay for a year subscription at Dragonfly CBD. The one thing I'll say is none of them are to do with skiing or speed or snow. So there's a good guess there. If you do stay later, we're at the bar, I might be able to show you one of them. That sounds sexier than it is. Okay, yeah. Right, so I'm going to go on because it's quite irrelevant about me being skiing. This is slightly more relevant. As someone who dedicated a life to winter snow sports, a byproduct of that is that you do get injured. I did have slightly more than most, but I look at this list and you're probably feeling sorry for me. You're probably thinking, "That poor girl." But I'm really proud of every single one of those. Isn't that weird? Quite sadistic. Now are you understanding why I need CBD in my life? I needed to learn to crash. For a long time in my healthy career, in my 20s, I underperformed. I had this huge potential. I was one of Sir Clive Woodward's prodigies. I was winning in training. I beat everyone. And I could never translate that into a race because I had this huge fear of failure. I thought that if I skied at 100% and still didn't win, I'd have to admit to everyone who'd invested in me, my sponsors, my family, all these people who'd dedicated so much to my career, that I just wasn't good enough. So I found this platform to perform at, which was 80%. And I kept 20% in my back pocket so that when I wasn't winning, I could self-validate that I could do more. And it's a very unsatisfactory way to live. I knew that I was standing that start gate and I wasn't going to give it my all. And then I got myself into a position where I could charge. I had a mistake first run and I just made the second run. I stood in the start gate and all the pressure and expectation was off. And I won the run and I made history and I became the first Briton to ever win a run and World Cup. Now, from then on, my career actually looks quite disastrous on paper because all these kind of things started happening. But it was an amazing way to live because I was choosing to be my very best. I was choosing to go 100%. And if you go 100% in sports like equestrian and motor racing and skiing, then there's that tiny line between success and disaster and a helicopter ride out and someone saying you'll never walk again, you'll never ski again. But I look at that and I think, hey, every scar I've got, every fusion, every break, and I still have a leg break right now, walking in front of you, you wouldn't know it, is a moment where I had the confidence to take risk, to push myself out my comfort zone. And I think this is actually a really interesting post-pandemic is we're all comfortable. We're all learning to live in our comfort zone. And I want people to go out there and make mistakes and take risks, and that's the only way you will learn. And if I can do that, and I'm skiing 90 miles an hour, then all of you guys can go out there and feel fear every day, because fear is great. Having that heart flutter when it's not from your partner, from something that you're choosing to do, is a way of you growing. I'm going on for way longer. Nikki's looking at me going, you didn't say that. This is why I have notes, because I'm supposed to follow them. And as you can see, I'm not. But listen, I'm going to go to pain management, because as I said, I did a lot of pill popping, legal pill popping in my career, masking. But I was ecstatic to qualify for my fourth and final Olympic Games in Sochi. I'd broken my leg 3 times in the 4 years previously. A lot of people had written me off. But I was skiing with so much pain. And every day when I finished skiing, I took my boot off and I had this golf ball size of swelling in my shin line. I called him Nick Faldo. Sorry, there's nothing against Nick Faldo, but I didn't want Nick Faldo in my life. But I didn't want to be negative and call my pain something. So I called my pain and my swelling Nick Faldo. And I could never get rid of Nick Faldo. Like, I would finish my day on the hill and I would try and recover for the next day. I couldn't sleep at night because my leg was throbbing, to the extent that I tried everything. Now, you might not agree with this being a sleep professional over there, but my physio and I found that if I took a shot of red wine every night, then I didn't have to take sleep medication and I could sleep through the night. And that was great, because I was like, great, I can do this. Then I qualified for the Olympics and I realized that I was going to try and smuggle red wine into the Russian non-alcohol allowed Olympic Village. And I didn't have the balls to do that. Okay, I can ski down 92 miles an hour, but I'm not smuggling red wine into a Russian Olympic Village. So my point is, God, I wish I'd known what I know now then, because everything could be better. We shouldn't have to live in pain. I'm an elite athlete and I lived in pain every single day. And thankfully, the IOC has recognized the benefits that athletes can have. Tokyo was the first Olympic Games where CBD without THC was allowed, so Dragonfly products were everywhere there. And I think it should be a recognized health benefit for the masses. And that's why I'm here, because I love the product and I want people to understand that it's not just for elite athletes. We all live with pain and stress and sleep deprivation. I'm a mum as well. And what I've noticed is that I don't get much sleep, but the quality of sleep I have is so much better now. How it all started for me was in January this year. I got the most amazing job. I'm sorry to say that I was away. I know not many people are away, but we tried to provide an hour of escapism to the UK winter sports market. And I don't know if anyone saw, but I got to step up and be a lead presenter of Ski Sunday. And it was amazing, and I would never turn it down. But we were in a solo bubble, so I wasn't allowed to see anyone inside for 7 weeks. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I couldn't see them. Obviously, I was quite sad at the beginning, but if any parents know, but then I thought, oh my God, I've got 7 weeks. Full night's sleep, no boys trying to lie on me every night. And I realised, what do I want to do? I want to mentally and physically look at all the opportunities that I could have in this time. So I committed to this massive yoga and CBD and Dragonfly CBD program. And I didn't notice, you don't get a magic wand and you're not healed straight away. But I was like, okay, I'm sleeping better, I'm delivering better. My co-commentator, who didn't want to compliment me, had to compliment me and say, you are delivering your lines, what are you doing differently? And so I was like, oh, I'm taking my Dragonfly CBD. And then I noticed that for 2 weeks I'd skied every day and Nick Faldo hadn't come to see me once. I have had to have a day off out ski boots every third day in my career for as long as I can remember. For Ski Sunday, I ended up doing 8 weeks skiing every single day. I felt like guilty because no one else could ski, so I went out in hell, in the snow and everything, and I had no pain. And I'm standing here now, and I want to show you guys all my leg, because this is Nick Faldo, and he's so insignificant now. And it's just unbelievable to me that he's not there anymore, because he was there with me for 10 years of my life. So I just can't believe the natural anti-inflammatory effect that it had on me. I'm sure I'm supposed to be, yes, Nick, yeah, stop talking, Chemmy. Well, I'll just go to my last one now about Dragonfly is so important for me, the CBD, because it's organic, it's natural, it's backed by research, as we've heard, but it's all about the quality. There are loads of brands out there you guys could choose, but it's so important it's got the right level of CBD in it, the right quality. For me, I'm paranoid about what I put in my body, being an athlete who was drug tested for 25 years. I cannot have THC. I promote sport to young children on TV. I cannot be seen to be near that product, which is why I love to be associated with a product where I can see where it came from. You know, I'm a bit of a geek, and you can track where you can harvest the bottled, where it is all researched, tested and retested. And I just think that's a reason why in this amazing industry, which is full of potential, Dragonfly CBD are sailing through for me. Thank you, everyone. Sorry.